Today we're going to talk about how I got my UAE Golden Visa. It's probably from something that you've never thought was possible. But first of all, let's talk about all the options that are out there for you to know. Hi, this is Jeremy from the Millionaire Migrant. I left the UK in the 20s, traveled around the world. I still love traveling. I'm in Miami right now while I'm filming, but I ended up building an enormous network of high net worth people. And from those people, I've learned so much about how the world works. And so I'm going to do lots of videos to show you how you can also reach those levels of financial freedom and opportunity. So you've heard about the 2 million dirham investments to be able to buy real estate in the UAE that will give you the UAE Golden Visa. And you maybe have heard about the fixed deposit. But what if I told you about other categories that are out there, including a seventh option that definitely you haven't heard of, and that was the one that I did. And so you didn't have to put a deposit and you didn't have to put a down payment. So maybe you want to stick around and hear what that was about and how maybe you can get the same visa that I did. A few years ago, I got the Golden Visa. Now, it was given to me. Now, I didn't have to pay anything for it, and I could have qualified through salary or fixed deposits or properties, but in the end, I didn't do any of these options. And this got me thinking, what else can we do? And what are the other options? And what can we do for our clients? So if this is for you and you're looking to get the Golden Visa and you're very well aware of the ones that are talked about the most, which is definitely the property one, but you want to know if there's alternatives, then maybe you can qualify in a much cost-effective way. We're going to go through the 7 different options. And the first one, let's talk about the property one. This one is actually a very attractive one, and that's why a lot of people do it. Even if you don't like property, as someone who's done very well from property, I don't think you're really listening to the right people, and you need to look at it and have a proper understanding of it, because maybe that's what's stopping you from taking exposure to a different asset class. But if you do that and you do it in the UAE, you'll be able to get a Golden Visa. And they even changed the legislation, so you don't have to put all the 2 million dirhams up front. You only need to put 30% down as long as the property value is at 2 million dirhams. And you can get the Golden Visa. You can even co-own with a spouse and you can reduce the cost. And you can even take a mortgage as well, and they won't even worry about that as long as the property value is 2 million dirhams. So there's some caveats to this as well. You'll have to get documentation from the bank. You'll need to demonstrate the property purchase price. But this is extremely popular option, and this is designed to be able to make the real estate market in the UAE much more sticky. So they don't want to have what happened in the previous situation in 2009, where there was a correction all around the world. It wasn't just in the UAE. But what happens now is that if there is any softening in the market, people will see that there's a lot more value in the UAE beyond their property. And it's working really well, because I know people who are getting into the UAE because they started with the Golden Visa and then they bought properties. It gets people curious about the benefits of the Golden Visa, the benefits of the UAE. And I can talk firsthand that it has given me so much as a business owner and also as a family man in the UAE. The second option you have is that you can do an investment fund deposit. So you can deposit 2 million dirhams, and you can also invest this in a public enterprise as well. So this is another option. So it's not just the fixed deposit. You can only invest in a business, a publicly listed business. Again, 2 million dirhams is the stipulation. It's not like property one. The property one is different because you can get away with just doing 30%, at least to start. You also need to show a tax contribution. So you need to demonstrate to the Federal Tax Authority, the FTA, that your business pays a minimum of 250,000 dirham in annual taxes to the UAE government. The third option you have is the Entrepreneur Golden Visa, which is a 5-year visa. It's not a 10-year Golden Visa, which is like the other options. This one here is essentially saying you're going to start a business with a project valuation, and this letter will have to come from a UAE-based auditor that confirms that the project's value is at least 500,000 dirhams. But if you do it that way, the UAE is saying, you know what, you're coming here, you're starting your business, as long as we can see that it has some kind of intrinsic value and it's not make-believe, and they can see that the value is it's a place that you're going to scale up in the UAE, they will also give you the Golden Visa. You need to get the approval though from the local emirate to show that that business has a technical or future-focused nature. This is the great thing about the UAE. It's very much future-focused in nature. I hear many people who say, oh, the Dubai this, and a lot of people who just hate as well. But at the same time, if you're looking for opportunity in your life, there are few places in the world that can match that. This entrepreneur option, the business scaling, also has another option where you can get an endorsement from an accredited business incubator in the UAE. So this could be like a free zone, for example, or a startup destination, a place where they incubate businesses. And again, you would have to come up with the documentation to support the project value, the feasibility study, and the value that it will will generate, not just for yourself, obviously, but for the local environment. The fourth option you've got is executive director. So this is for people, it's a 10-year visa, so not like the previous one. You need to get an NOC to show that you've spent at least 5 years in a senior C-suite position. So, you know, a GM, executive director, president, and so on. You need to show also an education certificate. It needs to be attested from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You need to show a salary certificate or a labor contract that shows that your basic salary, not housing and not the transportation, but the basic is 30,000 dirhams or more. As long as you've got this, then you qualify for that option. And we've done that for a few of our clients who are senior executives. So that's another option you can have. The fifth option you have is the bank deposit. We sometimes have this, but right now the banks, they're giving you around 2%, 2.5%, something like that. It depends on the rate and how it's going to be in the coming weeks and months. But there's a huge opportunity cost that you could be sweating a little bit more in real estate. Even if your real estate isn't the right time to buy, or you buy the wrong thing, medium to long term, I don't think anyone will dispute the long-term trajectory of the UAE real estate market. You need to deposit that in certain banks. It's not just all banks. So you're talking about largely your ADCBs, your ADIBs, the FABs, you know, these type of banks. So that's an option. But as I mentioned, very few people do this with us. You have the retirement golden visa, which is new. That's always something that a lot of people said, this isn't the place I could feel like I'd settle long term. But now you can get a retirement golden visa, which is another great thing. It's a 5-year visa, and your retiree, you need to be 55 years or older, and you need to show that you're self-sustainable. So you need to show a monthly income of at least 15,000 dirhams per month, or own a property valued at 1 million dirhams. So this is very attractive for some people as well. You can also put this in a fixed deposit. If you didn't want to put that money into a property, you can rent, but you need to show that you've got a 3-year fixed deposit with a UAE financial institution, one of the ones that I listed, for example, earlier. So that's another option that you can do if you don't want to buy a property. Lastly, I got my visa through the outstanding specialized talent pathway. So what this is essentially if you create value within society. So you can talk about doctors, scientists, inventors, something that is specialized in a niche scientific field, an athlete, for example. That is something else that we have done for 1 or 2 clients, not too many actually. You know, we generally look after high net worth and ultra high net worth category. But essentially that is something. So in my particular case, is like I'm not a scientist and I'm not a doctor. I got it because essentially I was considered of strategic value. So my story is that I set up a business in the UAE 15 years ago. It started from a desk pretty much as big as this table right here, and essentially it became one of the world's largest citizenship and residency by investment companies in the world. And we have 6 government licenses, which are renewed every year. And then on top of this, we have 300 Google reviews, 5-star. We have 150 on Trustpilot, probably 160, 170, I don't know. But essentially all of this we got from looking after our clients, delivering on what we said. And I've become friends with a lot of them over the years as well. But also because of this, the UAE is incredibly tuned into the movement of millionaire migrants, right? Which is why we call it this channel. There's a lot of migration of high net worth people that move around the world seeking opportunities because they understand that countries compete for their talent and or their capital. And as one of those conduits through my company, this is what we do, and we bring those people to the UAE. So we're talking billionaires, we're talking shipping magnates, we're talking celebrities, elite athletes, very successful business people, people in crypto, finance, lawyers, all types of people from all different walks of life. We are able to explain to them the benefits of having some kind of footprint in the UAE. A lot of them already had it, but a lot of them, if they didn't, they really understand the benefits of being here, because the world is very unstable, the world is changing, and there are going to be winners and losers. And in the last century, there were certain countries that were winners, and then I think that those countries, unfortunately, a lot of them are going to start being the losers. I hear this time and time again when I go to Africa. People in Africa are saying, this is where things are going. Europe is not going the right way. And so maybe this is our time. So this is what's happening right now. And that's why I started this channel recently, to be able to leverage off all this experience I have firsthand from my team, from my company, from my clients, and try and bring as much of what's going on around the world as I travel. I'm here in Miami right now, and I travel around the world seeking opportunities, learning about opportunities, and be able to educate people every single day to know where they can find opportunity and financial freedom. So this is the story about how I got my golden visa. This is the story about all the options that are there. We're more than happy to support you to try and find your ultimate objective. I strongly believe this is the place to be, and I'm not biased. I think people confuse sometimes that everyone who lives in Dubai loves Dubai. Myself, it's not. I objectively look at every jurisdiction around the world and see how it helps me and my family. It ended up to being in the UAE, and it is for it has been for many years. I still see it going forward, but things change. And so I always need to know that I have backup plans. I have multiple residencies, I have multiple passports, I have multiple investments in different parts of the world, and I'm always open to finding new opportunities. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you on the other side.